Hello everybody, here's a little video to help you with the day 6 assignment. This has to do with congruent triangles. So I'll do a problem from each section to help you out. Please, by all means, if you have any questions, let me know. For questions 1 through 6, you are naming the part that's congruent to the one listed. So for problems 1 and 2, it's kind of easy because they've got tick marks to indicate. But for the rest of the problems, they do not. So let me go ahead and do problem number 3 since it's not marked for you. Number 3, we need to look at this statement right here. Triangle TUV is congruent to triangle GFE. So when it's asking us which angle is congruent to angle U, I look for the location of U amongst these 3 letters. It's in the middle. So I come over here and I find that same letter that's in the middle over here. So by the congruent statement, I can indicate that angle F is congruent to angle U. Okay. For the ones 7 through 12 on the next page, you are writing a statement that indicates the triangles in each pair are congruent. So you're going to look at the markings to tell you what you need to know. So if I decide to write down for my first triangle, triangle IJK, let's say, and you can choose many different orders for these. When I write my second triangle, I have to make sure I match up the angles. So if you notice, I has 3 marks. I come over here and the angle that has 3 marks is S. J has 1 mark. T has 1 mark, so I have to list that next. And then K has 2 marks and R has 2 marks. All right, now again, these can be listed in many different orders, so just make sure whatever you decide to write down for your first one, that you make those matches with the second one. So that's 7 through 12. For 13 through 18, it says mark the angles and sides of each pair of triangles to indicate they are congruent. So if you're writing this on paper, you can write down all those individual congruencies. If you're putting this on Exodo or you're printing it off, you can make those marks. So some of you that have turned this in did a nice job indicating the angles or the sides, but some of you didn't indicate both. So let me show you on 13 your options that you can do. So if you print the paper off, you can go ahead and mark it. So it says BDC congruent to MLK. So B has to be congruent to M. So I'll put 1 mark for each of those angles. D is congruent to L. So I'll use 2 marks for that. And then C is congruent to K, and I'll use 3 marks for that. All right. Also, too, I want to mark the sides. So BD, the first 2 letters in the first triangle, have to match the first 2 letters in the second, ML. Also, too, you can notice that the single mark, or this side, is between the 2 angles with 1 mark and 2 marks. Okay, so you can use that as well. DC, I'll put 2 marks on that, has to match up with LK. And then finally, BC has to match up with MK. Okay. If you're writing this out on paper, then you could write something like this. Angle B congruent to angle M. Angle C congruent to angle K. Angle D congruent to angle L. The sides then again, BD congruent to ML, CD congruent to KL, and then which one haven't I done yet? BC congruent to MK. All right, so hopefully this will help you. I'll try to send a little video for each day since we're running into some things that are more difficult. So if you have any questions at all, please ask. Thank you.